Hi, everybody. This is Nadia Lutz, and we are talking today about AO and quantum Australian bush flowers. We're lucky enough to have Belinda with us she's a master in Australian bush flowers. I'll give her a proper introduction in a little bit, but what I thought I'd do is just go through the thing that we have to do in what I always have to do, the medical disclaimer and everything, right? So this presentation does not provide any medical advice. It's just for educational purposes only. So please use it in that way. And may wonder why it's quantum tools. It's because we want to use as many natural things as possible to help us with our immune system and optimizing the cell. So that's kind of what all these videos are about. And today we are fortunate enough to have our guest speaker, Belinda. She is an amazing person. She's a master at Australian bush flowers, a practitioner in it. She actually studied with the founder of it. It was a mentor of hers. So it's pretty exciting to hear her talk about it. She's an author. She has an amazing website, so much more. She can share that website if she wants. And I got that she's a sacred soul alchemist, which I love that title. I think we all are, right?
Yes.
So you want to say hello, Belinda? Give a little bit background?
Hi. Yes, sure. I think really, I wouldn't call myself a master, I have to say. I just say I have a great love for the bushflower essences, and I've really got to know them really well over the last 3 decades. And yes, I did have the great fortune to do a bushwalk in the Australian bush with Ian White, who's the founder of the Bushflower Essences. Again, that was over 30 years ago, but it sparked a beautiful osmotic teaching within me, in that when you work with someone who's founded essences like this, it just comes through the pores of your skin and you really feel and live the vibration of those bushflowers. And one of the things I was going to talk about is that I encourage everyone to look at the actual flowers themselves, which you'll probably find photos of on the Bushflower website. And when you look at them, you really begin to connect with their frequency and get a deeper knowing of them. So, but we can talk about that later. And yes, I've been doing this work for over 30 years. So it's a passion of mine, healing and frequency.
That's exciting. So I have a little short video we can play of Mr. White, just a little over a minute for anyone who hasn't gone out to the web and looked at him. So I'll go ahead and play this, hopefully.
Hello, I'm Ian White, founder of the Australian Bushflower Essences. Hello, I'm Ian White, founder of the Australian Bushflower Essences. A simple yet extremely powerful system of healing to bring about emotional well-being. For thousands of years, traditional Chinese medicine, as well as Ayurvedic medicine from India, have recognized that 90 to 95% of our physical symptoms stem from emotional and spiritual imbalance. The bush essences work at the emotional and spiritual level. So by taking them, you're practicing preventative medicine. Yet at the same time, you're also improving the quality of your life as you're balancing and harmonizing your emotions. Flower essence is not something new. They've been used for thousands of years throughout the world, including by the Australian Aborigines. I'm a 5th-generation Australian herbalist. I've been carrying on the family tradition of working with Australian plants, but I've been focusing more on the emotional and spiritual healing qualities of the plants. And I've been doing this research for over 30 years. And I've travelled to all parts of Australia researching and developing the bush essences, which were released 25 years ago. We have essences coming from all parts of the country, from the tropics in the north, from the alpine areas, from the dry red centre, and from the sandstone regions throughout the country. The bush essences are addressing contemporary issues such as learning, spirituality, sexuality, earth changes, as well as addressing the basic emotional state such as fear, anger, and grief. The bush essences are very easy to use. They come in a liquid form. You take 7 drops on rising.
Okay, I'll stop there because we're going to be using them a little bit differently, right? I got kind of goosebumps on some of those photos. Did anyone else of the, weren't kidding. I know, that was crazy. The little drop one. Ooh, that's exciting. So I just want to, I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with the AO scan. So I just want to show everyone where that is, just in case they're not. And then we'll go in and talk about the specific flowers. So this won't take too long. So recently, this is our bioresonance scanner, the AO, and the way you get to the flowers are you go to Cepheid, and then you scroll down to quantum flowers. And we've had Bach flowers for a while, and we just had the fortune of getting the Australian bush flowers. So I'm excited to learn about that. You can select by emotion. So they have the Bach flowers up front, and then they go into the bush flowers. Belinda will talk about that in a little bit. It's pretty amazing what you can do with this. You can actually press scan, and the computer will pick which one it thinks is the most relevant for you at this time. Ooh, despair. I'm feeling overwhelmed. It didn't pick a bush flower. But if I didn't agree with that, I could go ahead and come down and maybe click overwhelmed here and say it came up with flannel flower. And then from there, what I can do is I can take a glass of water and I can hold it up to this fractal amplifier, or if it's on a phone, you can actually put it on it because we access this just on the web, right? So this can be done on your phone or any tablet. And I would just press imprint. You don't have to have the volume up when you're actually doing it. And then you're literally making your own homeopathic remedy with these flowers, right? You can use water. I have a roll on here of essential oils, and I put the flowers in as well. You can use that. Solix also sells homeopathic pellets. So you can do the same thing. You put it right up and you can make your own essences. So it's pretty amazing what we can do. And I just wanted to show that in case anyone wasn't familiar with that. And we'll go back to our presentation now. So someone in the main group put together a pretty neat list of all the flowers. And I went ahead and put that. It'll be in the group for us to use. So if you muscle test, you could also, in addition to use the scanner and also learning everything and finding which one is correct, you can also muscle test as a list to see which one might be best for you, right? And then today, when Belinda put together these resources also, which I was browsing on them, they're fabulous information. Later, I'll copy that and I'll put it in the chat for people. And today I was working on this. So it's a little bit more information about it, and you can go ahead and peruse that later. And they're in 4 pages. So you can also muscle test this, or you can learn a little bit more about it and go from there. All right, Belinda, you're in the hot seat now.
Oh, really? Okay.
What are your favorite flowers? What are your go-to?
Okay, I'll tell you. My all-time favorite flower is pawpaw. I have to say I use that very regularly. And pawpaw is fantastic for overwhelm, interestingly. So overwhelm, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling burdened, if you want to integrate things quickly. And it also is, it balances the digestive system really quickly as well. And it also works with connecting you with your higher self really fast, really effectively. So if you want to make, and it's decision making as well. So maybe that speaks to me that I need something to help me with decision making, but I love that. Now, I did put in in that link, there's a wonderful link to the remedy blends on the Bush Flower Essence website.
Okay.
If you look at those remedy blends, it will give you a beautiful collection, well-researched collection of all the flowers that work together to address many sides of a particular emotional or spiritual and very often physical condition. And I encourage everyone to look at those blends and to muscle test or check in with your higher self or your essence, and work with what you feel you'd like to add to it or subtract from it. For example, one of the blends that I use a lot, and you can just click on emergency essence if you wouldn't mind, Nadia. I find this super powerful and it can be used for so many things. This is something that we have in our house all the time because it's great even for when you go out and you pick up a whole bunch of stuff that you are super sensitive to, and you come back and you've got a lot of unnecessary energies on you. It contains flowers that really bring you immediately into the center, that help you cope with anything that's overwhelming, such as dog rose of the wild forces is when you feel completely out of control. Crow ear is for if you're worrying too much, consistent worrying. Fringe violet is one of my favorite flowers, and that helps balance and clear the aura. And particularly, and it has many, many other uses. This is just a very quick overview because it also helps to clear trauma as well. So if you're working with someone, you can bring in that frequency
This is
on
so
the
beautiful.
It's gorgeous, isn't
Oh
it?
my goodness.
That's why I say, go have a look at the actual flowers. And when you connect in, if you just open up your heart and connect in with the actual flower, you'll pick up on what Ian calls the doctrine of signatures. And you'll feel the essence of what it is there. So fringed violet is the name of the flower, and you can see it's violet. It's got those beautiful tendrils coming out of the flower.
Can you help us connect in? Can you do a little 30,
Yeah,
45 seconds?
sure. I'm just going to put
I
my
think everyone here would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just connect in. Okay, so just stilling for a moment. Through your feet, just sense that connection with the divine love essence within the core of the earth. That frequency of love that is perpetual and that moves through, cuts through any other dross, any other distractions, and just allow that love to come up through your earth star, which is about 8 inches below your feet, connecting you with the earth and all upon the earth in the highest frequency of divine love. Bring that love up. Let it go through the core of your spine, awakening all of your chakras and filling them with this connected, supportive love and familiarity, remembrance of the earth. Let it go right through to the crown chakra and up into your soul star again, 8 inches above your head. And let that open and bring higher awareness in very easily to your heart space, all of your chakras, so you're in tune with your higher awareness. And then imagine yourself, your feet placed on the earth grid above Australia. And we're going to call on the essence, the spirit of Australia, connecting in with the pure frequency of the love that this is, the divine qualities of the essence of Australia. And I feel here the ancestors are coming in quite strongly, interestingly enough, to just connect. So we're going to give thanks and gratitude to the ancestors and the earth keepers of this country for inviting us in as guests to experience the bountiful frequencies of these bushflower essences, which, as Ian said, have been used by the First Nations people as medicine for thousands of years. And as we place our feet on that grid, we connect in with all of the bushflowers and with the deva that is at the center, or the spirit or the essence, the pattern holder for each of these flowers. And we ask that each of these flowers open in their full capacity so that we can visit them and explore them. So because we've all seen fringed violet, let's just move into that beautiful purple flower. And let's just feel like we can stand on its essence, connect with it, hold it in your hands even, and bring it to your heart space. Just feel the frequency of it. And you may feel things like it's very good at clearing your aura. And it's almost like what's been fringed now comes into a balance. It's very good at clearing trauma. So just ask for its essence to reach into any parts of you and your energy field. And this goes beyond the lower conscious bodies of physical, etheric, emotional, mental, spiritual, and into the higher light bodies, into the subtle bodies. So wherever there's trauma, just ask that go through. And just feel the balancing effects. Wherever there has been any, let's say, unwanted energy come in, let it repair that energy in your field. Beautiful. Just sit with that. And then we'll move along from the fringe violet, and we're still standing on the earth grid and connecting right into the deva of the bushflower essences. And what's coming up is Waratah wants to come in very strongly. It's a very powerful Australian bushflower essence.
Can I interrupt you for a second, Belinda?
Yes.
Maybe people could imprint this or broadcast it to themselves while we're doing each flower.
Sure. Yes. Why not?
If anyone has their scanner open, then we can get it that way as well.
Okay.
How do you spell the next one you're going to talk about?
Waratah, W-A-R-A-T-A-H.
Okay, so if you have your scanner open, you can
That's what it looks like. It's very majestic flower, very important to the First Nations people. And for some reason, I brought it in, it just came in as I was doing this meditation, because it's a flower of great light, in the sense that it's a major flower in the emergency essence, where it brings in hope when there's despair. It brings in survival skills. It's that flower that you use when you're really at the bottom of things and you say, okay, I need something that's going to give me tenacity, hope, and just carry me through. It's like a dark night of the soul flower. And I think that came through simply because there's so much in the world at the moment. Sometimes we just need that extra help to support us get through it. So we'll just see what Waratah has to offer, seeing it came in. So again, we're connecting through our feet, through our heart, inviting that flower into our hands. You're scanning it on your scanner as well. And we're just holding this beautiful red flower, Waratah, and calling in the deva, or the essence of Waratah. And it hits me very strongly in the solar plexus, bringing that strength and power to the solar plexus. And it goes right down to the base or root chakra and connects me into the resources that I have, which are connected to this earth, but also through other timelines. Resources that I remember, strength and skills, survival skills. And it moves not only through the survival, but as you balance those fears of survival, which may be coming from other timelines as well, it actually brings in and balances for me the skills that are needed to move forward. So as this is coming through, just find those skills, those gifts, those tools that you have as a multidimensional soul come in. Yeah, that's great. It's coming in and just filling up and being highlighted in your energy field. It's always there for you anyway in your energy field, but it's just being highlighted. Now I can feel that the scan is actually really helping with this. So
Yeah, you can put it right on your wrist if you want to. Just hold your wrist over.
Up to the scanner.
Yeah, you'll
Beautiful.
actually feel it. That's a beautiful flower as well.
It's amazing that there are so many of them. They're so beautiful. We could sit here. I mean, how many are there? There's like 60 or 70. I can't remember now, to be honest. But is there another flower you would like to go through, or shall we just connect to them all?
Let's go through your top 5 or 6,
Okay. All
top few
right.
that you always you love and
Let's
go.
go pawpaw. I really love pawpaw. It's one of my favorites.
Do you know which emotion that is on? Because it looks like we need to know when we.
Okay, right. Pawpaw might be for overwhelm.
Okay,
or,
so you overwhelm and then what might come up. This looks like why am I blanking on the name? Jasmine. This looks a little bit like jasmine.
It does a little bit, yeah. Have you found it on the scanner? I'm not doing it on the scanner myself.
Let's see where Papa is. If anyone's found where it is, let pipe up. Looks like impatience. It's under impatience.
Impatience. Okay. Yeah.
It also showed up under overwhelm for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like they have a different color, Papa. Are there different
Yeah,
colors on Papa's?
Different flowers.
Yeah.
it's red.
Well, I guess this is the flower that Ian used when he was creating the essence. So that's the one he'd picture there because it's the basis of his particular flower essence.
Okay.
But I think there are other pawpaw flowers. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, this would be the essence he used. And I just want to add in here, the reason I went in or was guided to go into all of Australia and connect in with the essence of the country as well, is that if you read a bit about how Ian created these flowers, they were all that flower essences, sorry, they were all created in very sacred and special places and under very guided circumstances. Some of the stories that he shares on his blog are very, very let's say uplifting, because it's all about guidance and being in the right place and really listening to where you need to be at the right time to create an essence that's super powerful and that's aligned with the country, aligned with the ancestors that hold the country and are custodians of the country. So, and honoring them. And so this would be the flower that he connected with at the time that he originally made it. And this is the same for many of the flowers as you go through some of those beautiful places that you felt goosebumps on, are very sacred and powerful places. Okay. So let's just connect in again. We're holding pawpaw, this beautiful white flower, and you're running the scanner. And bringing that in, part of your frequency. just feeling the essence of the Deva of Pawpaw and feeling that anything that you're overwhelmed about, it just quietens it immediately. And it has, how it does that is it brings you into connection, into heart space, into higher self, spirit connection. So you see things from, or see, feel, and know things from a more expansive perspective. So that which was overwhelmed is usually related to our personalities. So it gives the personality space to let go and to see this higher perspective. Connects you in pretty immediately with that. It also will work on the solar plexus. Really helps with that, any feelings of nervousness, and also the digestive system. It's pawpaw itself is very balancing for the digestive system, whether you eat the fruit or you use the flower essence. And if there's it's really good, very appropriate to have in this training that Nadia is putting on, because it helps assimilate things. And I know there was a story there that Ian shared about teaching a group once and using the pawpaw essence, and everybody just assimilated things very quickly. So it helps you to absorb information really quickly. So for example, if someone's doing exams, or you've got a lot of reading for your work, or you're in a training, pawpaw will help you be like a beautiful sponge of the most positive things, right? So just sitting with that.
Linda, you spoke when we were speaking. It was really interesting. You were talking about the bush flowers, and then you were talking about you were using light to help bring them into the body.
Oh, yes.
Can you
Okay.
touch on that, like different colors and different light?
Yes,
It was
yes. Well,
fascinating.
yeah, it's very beautiful too, because you don't have to use the same colors that the flowers are, but you will, when you look at the flowers, see that they're all different colors, and the different colors will align with a lot of the heart flowers, for example, have a strong pink signature. So you'll see that there's an alignment with the flowers and the type of emotion that they help with. But as an alchemist, which we all are, we can work with, when we bring that flower in. So let's connect, keep with the pawpaw because we're with it. And as we bring that flower in, if we want to clear the overwhelm, we can just simply ask to bring in the color or colors that will help us to balance and clear all overwhelm in this moment. And ask it to come through, again, through the core of your spine, because actually that will then reach out into your central nervous system, through the spine, where it branches out into the central nervous system. And let the central nervous system carry that color through. Each of us will get a different color, or we may get a combination of colors. For me, I'm getting a spiral. It's magenta and green, and there's a core of gold in the middle. Let me just see if I can see the group. And oh, actually, the group energy is white, and it's got a violet around it. And there's a green coming through. And each of these color rays, obviously, if you work with color rays, you'll already know this has a specific frequency and vibration of what it imparts. So violet is really clearing any negative residue, any karmic residue. It also is a color that connects us with a higher frequency of, let's say, spirituality. The green is unconditional love with space. It allows that freedom and space in the unconditional love. And that beautiful white is just that clear, the white clarity of spirit coming through. And then everyone else just brings in whatever they need. And you can direct that to whatever part of your body wants to receive the frequency, as you can feel it running through your body. My solar plexus wants the gold. Yours might want the green. Wherever it takes you, just let the color flow through there. And again, is everybody okay with that? What I'll just, let's say, highlight here is there's no wrong color, and it will change moment to moment. It can also change as you're running it through you. So you might start with a couple of colors. You might start with a double helix. Then it might just come in and it might start radiating out from your center. So just allow the process. It's all about allowing and being connected with it and letting it assist you. Okay, everyone good with that?
Yeah.
Shall
As you
we
were
do
doing that, yeah, of course. I was
Yes,
just
go.
thinking that, it's so nice to stack different things. So you could go to your
Yes.
favorite essential oil, maybe lavender would help with overwhelm or whatever. And then that would evoke a
Exactly.
whole nother set of colors and feelings and everything.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. And for example, I don't know if you're familiar with the Aurosoma system.
Mhm.
Do you know about Aurosoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, I often use Aurosoma and bring in the frequency of that, because that's got the herbs and flowers in it as well. And it's got the color, because it's color therapy. So there's all sorts of different helpers you can bring in. So beautiful. And we can just access that from our essence as well. Okay, let's do one more flower. I think I'd like to go to, I want to go for pink flannel flower at the moment, which is a beautiful heart flower. And actually, I don't use this all the time.
My goodness.
Have a look at it. Isn't it beautiful?
That's amazing. Okay, so this is for the heart chakra?
This is very heart flower, heart chakra, inner child, right?
So when you're imprinting, you could actually hold it up to your heart chakra also, right? That's like, that's another whole thing. So while we're doing this,
absolutely.
gorgeous. Are they really fluffy like that? Like, is it soft?
Well, honestly, I haven't seen one
Yes,
in the bush. They only bloom at certain times, and you've got to know what you're looking for. Obviously, be very aware of where to find it, what section of the bush across Australia, and what season, and then what time it blossoms as well within that season. So they're not out all the time. And a lot of the bush flowers in central desert, obviously, don't bloom all the time because there may not be enough rain for it to bloom. So some of them are extremely rare, and they're quite special in that way, because you've just got to be there. Again, read some of Ian's blogs if you're interested, because he talks about the adventures he's been on in the middle of Australia trying to find one particular flower, which makes it very special, if you like. So let's just connect in with this flannel flower. Let's bring it into the heart, feeling the inner child, and feeling any denial of the inner child that may be present. And again, just asking as you're scanning and as you're feeling this flower, asking for the specific and perfect color rays to flow through for you today in this moment. That will help unblock your access to this inner child and to the feelings of sensitivity. Connecting with the feelings of playfulness, joy. And just bringing that inner child, just bringing up a color and a light frequency that brings your inner child to the forefront now. And we're going to offer that child the healing power of the pink flannel flower. So that they may come forward and be free again within you now. And so actually here as we're doing this, there's another flower that came up for the group, which was a sturt desert pea, to couple with the flannel flower. And sturt desert pea is one of the most powerful bush flower essences, and you probably find it in grief in the scanner, STURT, sorry, sturt desert pea. There it is. Yeah, sturt.
What was it under?
Probably grief.
Okay.
Did you find it?
It's under sorrows.
Sorrow. Thank you.
Okay, great. This is super powerful, and it addresses grief, not only from this timeline, but from others as well. And just what came up with the inner child for this moment was that this flower just needed to come through and support any grief that's felt around the inner child. And so we're just going to invite that flower in as part of that beautiful pink flannel flower, and just supporting all of our inner children to just dissolve any grief that might be preventing the joyfulness and playfulness and creativity of our inner child in this moment. Just feeling that come in. And going to, it can address wherever in your chakra system you feel you need to put it. Just bringing that essence in strongly. And then we're just going to flush it all through with the very strong magenta pink coming through, just to bring in that overlighting frequency of divine love. And feeling the silver ray come through, which is a beautiful feminine energy, soft, holding, supporting. Combining with the magenta, filling our energy field. And again, that violet's coming in, the fringe violet's coming in just to balance, along with the violet ray, to balance and bring our auric field into wholeness. The purple integrating and assimilating. The flannel flower opening heart space and inner child. And then I'm just going to ask for whatever color you need individually to complete this journey, to come into your heart and radiate out through and in through your solar plexus as well, and just radiate through your energy field. So you're 100% complete with this process. All of your chakras are in balance. All of your bodies are aligned. So it's running through physical, etheric, emotional, mental, spiritual, and out into your light bodies, all the way out to what I call the holographic body, which is like thousands of beautiful different mandala patterns, which click and connect into each other. And they shift and change their patterning, and just allow that to shift like a kaleidoscope so that it integrates and forms a beautiful patterning that flows to you now. Each one of you, each one of us is individual, will receive a different patterning. And that will just incorporate the shifts and changes that we experience today. I'm going to give thanks to the spirit, the essence of Australia, the Deva of the bushflower essences. Thanks to the custodians of this country, and thanks to each of our higher selves for guiding us, and our spirit essence as well. We're just going to come into our own little pod now and just be present.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Wonderful.
I feel like we should do a flower of the week.
Each week, yes. You could do that in the group, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, I learned I feel like I feel it, right? So you're learning more about it just than,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's beautiful. And that's really what we're talking about. I think, Nadia, I was saying that I'd love to share the feeling and the essence of the flowers with everybody, because it helps then when you're looking at, because a list otherwise can be like, wow, it's a list and I don't know a lot about it. But now that everyone is connected in with the essence of the flowers, then it's easier to connect in. For example, if I'm working with a client, I very rarely go from what my knowledge is, from my mind's perspective. I will go and I'll just bring my box of essences out and I'll put my hand on it and I'll just ask for the right essences to come in. And then it'll just guide me to which essence. And then as they come out, I'll go, oh yeah, I understand how that fits, right? And then if there's anything that I feel I've missed because there's a story coming through, then I'll just add it in, and that's more from a cognitive level. But if we intuit, we know so much more than we really give ourselves credit for, really. Yeah. So it's a wonderful way to intuit. And I guess that the muscle testing is also a beautiful way to intuit as well. But I feel like it's powerful to just open and connect to the essence of the flower as well first. I also wanted to add a couple of things about when you're making these, looking at those blends that are on the remedy blends that are on the Ian's website, Bushflower Essence website. That's helpful. So, for example, if you've got someone that you're working with or yourself, and you feel like, for example, the Abund Essence, if you want to click just on that, that's about when we're feeling blocked in our abundance. So a lot of the flowers that come up with that will deal, Bluebell opens the heart, Boab clears the family line. Boab is a really powerful bush essence that clears the family line. So all of these will relate to emotions that are being blocked, that are let's say, limiting you from expanding into your full abundance. And if you go through all of them, there'll be a whole bunch listed. You can see, okay, I can then find these in the scanner and put together a really nice playlist to work with that. 5 corners, it's so beautiful, but it's literally, that's like the drooping shoulders of people who don't really love themselves enough, you know. So that's part of, if you're if you're feeling a lack of abundance, it's about, you know, really loving yourself and honoring yourself. So there's so many beautiful flowers within there, and I would encourage you to look at each of them because there's a photo for each of them. And when you're making up the blends, just go, oh, I see you, and connect in. And that will help you bring that essence into the scanner as well, because the scanner's a frequency output for the essence, isn't it? So, and if we're really heart connecting, it will be really more powerful for each of us and more powerful for those that you're working with. And again, the other thing that maybe we need to cover is, with the flower essences, they don't, they're safe to use on everyone, children, adults, if someone's quite ill. And I know we're going to be using them with the scanner, so you're not actually ingesting the brandy that you need to put into the physical essences because it's a preservative. It's very important to know that you can't overdose on these. Sometimes with the homeopathics, if there's no incorrect bush flower, it just won't work if it's the incorrect one. It'll just negate itself. They're self-adjusting. So you can't go wrong with them. Whereas you have to be careful with homeopathics because they can actually prove themselves and you can have a side effect. So you've just got to monitor that a little more closely.
Yeah. Or the pellets, right? We can use the pellets as well. Because remember, it's frequency we're putting in, like Belinda
Yeah,
said.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So you can't overdose. They're very safe.
So I know with a lot of homeopathics, they recommend taking 3 to 4 tablets, wait 15 minutes and see if you feel different, and then redose. Is that similar?
Well, with the bush flower essences, what they recommend is in the morning on rising and at night on retiring. That's if you're working with a specific blend. And you can actually, with these blends, these are suggestions. You can actually, once you get to know the flowers, you can add in, you know, something that's more fine-tuned to the person that you're working with or your particular circumstance. The only exception to this would be a blend like emergency essence. So with a blend that you make, a custom blend, for example, if I'm making a custom blend, I have someone on a custom blend which they're taking for 2 weeks on rising and on retiring, and they do 7 drops. So I don't know what the 7 drops is comparatively with the AO scanner. You would know best with that, Nadia, because I'm not so familiar. Ooh, grey spider flowers.
No, it's like, I guess it would probably depend how many times you press imprint, right? So muscle testing would be best to see, because if someone's pressing imprint 3 times, and then it depends on how much you're imprinting. You know, if you're doing a whole bottle of pellets or if you're just doing 3 pellets, it would be there'd be a lot of variables.
Yes, so I guess just muscle checking on that in terms of how to work it on the AO scanner.
Yeah.
Grey spider flower is for nightmares, you know. It's a beautiful one for if you have night terrors or nightmares, you know, and you can just feel the energy of it. It's very protective. It's beautiful, and it's in emergency essence as well. But what I'm saying is you can do a custom blend, but then you can make up an emergency essence and have that on hand, and you can use that as a one-off anytime, even if you're on a custom blend. So say I'm on a custom blend. Well, I am on a custom blend at the moment because I'm just working on different things in myself. So I take that morning and night. But if I go out and I feel really frazzled by all the different frequencies out in the world, you know, if I have to go to the plaza, the shops or whatever, and I come back, I'm going, oh, I feel discombobulated. I'll just take 1 dose of emergency essence. It'll just go and bring everything back into balance, you know? So that's only one part of emergency essence. It's got a number of different essences in there. So should I open people up for questions now, if there are any?
Yeah, Marcia just asked, well, Tiffany asked, what's one for night terrors? And I said, gray spider flowers. And then Marcia
Yes.
said, do we have emergency essence?
Or what you can do is you can look up the emergency essence, look up the flowers that are in them, and then select them from this AO.
Right, so you're making your own.
That's why I thought that the blend page would be really helpful.
That is great.
Because then you don't, then they've already tested these blends and they work really well. And I also have to say from experience, these essences work really powerfully. So when I do a blend for people, they really work. And I keep a note of what I've done for them. I mean, I guess in the scanner it's going to be there anyway, recorded, because then you can assess it after 2 weeks and say, okay, so what's improved, what's not. It's nice to keep a diary on it and say, okay, I know that I'm working on this. What am I feeling? How am I improving? What percentage am I improving? So that when you've done about a couple of weeks, you can go back and check it and fine tune it.
People are asking about how we would go about doing this. So why don't we show them that? So we could go into Cephi. We could click custom playlist, click the plus sign, and then we could do emergency bush flowers. And then we would click on this box here. We'd scroll down to quantum flowers. And what's one of them?
Okay, let me see.
That was a spider, wasn't it?
Yeah, Fringe violet. Grey spider flower. There you go. Grey spider flower.
So we would click that.
Fringe violet's in there.
Does anyone else have it open? Let's see what else it was. Croea, Angel's Word. So you would literally go back and forth and you just
Yes, that's right. Croea. Croea, Angel Sword.
And then let's see what the last one was. Oh, Dog Rose of Wild. I love the names of these. Dog Rose of Wild Forces.
And that's for when you feel really out of control, like everything's out of your control and you can't kind of pinpoint anything.
Okay, so those are the 5 that are listed on the website. So I just press save.
Yeah.
And now we could just
There's more there too. But anyway, let me just you can just go through and have a look and write them down or take a screenshot. If you open that up more, there might be more.
4, 5. Oh, Sundew and Martha. Yeah.
Yes, put that in.
So then we'd click edit and we'd go back down.
Sundew, say yes. Morita, put that in. And so, for example, I customize mine and I put pawpaw in there as well because I really like pawpaw to be included because that just gives me a complete bang. I'm in my higher self and my overwhelm's gone.
I love that. Okay, so if you want to screenshot that, go ahead. And then you would just press imprint or you could broadcast it to yourself, right? So you would literally hold up your water, your pellets, your oils, whatever you'd like. Or you could broadcast it to the person at the top. I love this.
It's fun.
Yeah. So Dog Rose. Oh, thanks, Karen. We can only imprint, not send self, right? No, you can broadcast by clicking 2-minute broadcast or continuous broadcast. And then it's going to go to the person at the top. So you don't have to ingest these things. Where can we find the blends on the website? So if you just click on the lines up here, go to shop, and then remedy drops. They're all there. Love it.
There's some amazing blends there, you know.
Yeah. Do you have any other things you like to add to say abund? Wait.
Let's have a quick look at a bund. If I can refresh my memory.
Got bluebell, boab, Christmas bell, five corners, philoteca, pink flannel, southern cross, and sunshine.
Oh, that's a really good blend. I haven't got anything that I'd add to that. Sunshine Wattle is so beautiful. So it's about letting go of the past and expecting a brighter future, basically. So it really helps to clear the past and anything. If you've had like a really hard time, you go like, I really don't know how things are going to get better. This one's going to really help you. And again, that all plays part of your abundance. If you're focusing on something in the past and feeling like, I don't know how that's going to improve in the future. And that can be health or abundance or anything, relationships, circumstances. Excuse me. A drink.
Love it. I'm going to post these resources again in case you missed it into the chat that Belinda had mentioned. So you'll be able to get, and then she also suggested the suggestions by symptoms as well.
Yeah, that's if you want to do a custom blend.
Mhm.
So if you're working on yourself or someone else and you've got specific symptoms, you can go through and see what their suggestions for those symptoms are. It might be a little easier than just going through and having a look at the, I guess, the emotion on the AO scanner and then muscle checking.
Mhm.
It could be easier to go through there and just have a look and have a read about what they're suggesting, and then go back in and have a look at what's available within the scanner there.
Don't forget, we also, when you go down to Cephi, and you go to homeopathics, you have the by symptoms here as well, right? So I'm actually not sure if they added the bush flowers in. I don't see why they wouldn't. Let's see. No, that only came up. Maybe they haven't added this yet into the by symptoms, because you'd think they would have added the flowers.
Yeah, you would
You think
so.
Bach would be there and
Looks
the flowers would, so I don't think
Yeah.
they put them in yet.
Mm.
All right. Does anyone else have any other questions? Well, thank you so much. Such a
Oh,
treat
you're so
having you.
welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you everybody for being part of it and contributing to the group today. I had a lovely time. Thank you so much, Nadia. And I just want to say 100% how much I appreciate everything that you're giving. The group that you've put together is incredible. And I'm feeling so much amazing energy coming through. You're just phenomenal, I have to say. Thank you so much.
Best leader ever.
Absolutely. I have to say the same.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, this is amazing.
You're so welcome.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. That was
Yes,
incredible. Yeah.
Thank you.
I have all
Thank
these light
you.
bulbs going off. Ding, ding, ding.
I know, right? We're gonna go play now.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I want to go make some potions.
Yes.
Yay.
Definitely.